Dr. Sue Cornbluth back with you today, and we're going to talk about a topic that so many of you struggle with every single day, and that is understanding how your kids get to the point where they don't want to talk to you anymore and they ignore you. Well, this is due to one thing, and it is your ex alienating your children. But today I want to educate you on how your ex does this. It is not a quick process. Actually, it is very slow, and it begins slowly, and then over time it begins to get worse and worse and worse. So let's start off by me educating you on how the alienator creates such a distance between you and your child early on. First of all, your ex's goal is to isolate your kids from you. That is their overall goal, and to do that, they do it in the following ways. First of all, they start making requests of you. For instance, if your children are scheduled to be at your ex's house for a certain amount of days, they will say, you know, Johnny and Judy really want to stay a couple extra days. Is that okay with you? Your response to that should be, no, we are going to follow the court order. Because once you give some leverage, they will take advantage of it. Second of all, they tell the kids that they are the superior parent, that they are in control, that they are still making all of the decisions. Third, and this is the most critical one of all, your ex begins to play the role of the victim to your children. They will say things to your children like, Mommy or Daddy has put us in this position. I don't understand why they are doing this. Now, after your child hearing this so many times, they start to believe that it is true. And they want the kids to feel sorry for them. Once they get them to feel sorry for them, they are more in the alienator's control. Next, they want to remove everything from the kids' world that they can't control. Guess what's the most important thing they want to remove from the kids' life? Yes, you. And how do they start to do that? Well, they do it by doing these things. If you are sending a text to your children, they may erase it. If you are sending an email to them, they may erase that too. So it's very important that you just don't send an email and not follow up with it early on with your kids. Moving along here, what else that the alienator seems to do is use threats with your children. And the threats are subtle in the beginning, but they'll do things such as, if you don't do this for me, then I'm not going to let you drive the car, or I'm not going to let you get the video game that you want. So they start playing the game with the alienator because they want those things. And kids are very impressionable, and so they become controlled by the alienator. Now, the next thing that happens is that oftentimes the alienator will indulge your children. So it's not that they appear to your kids as all good or all bad, because there's times when they will indulge them and will buy them something very expensive or take them shopping or whatever it is that your child loves. But they do that for a reason, and that reason is because they want to keep their child as close to them as possible. So that says to the kid, you know what, Mommy and Daddy is not all bad. They do good things for me. And so that clouds the fact that they're trying to brainwash them. So you have all these factors involved in terms of why your kids do not want to talk to you. And the main issue for you to recognize is that your children begin to identify with your ex, who is the alienator. And that is why they push you away. Also, because they don't see you as the protective parent, they see the alienator as that. So what can you do? Well, before we get to this part, let me be clear that undoing the brainwashing here is very difficult. but it's not impossible. But it takes a lot of effort on your part. And my first suggestion is that early on, when you start seeing signs of this taking place, don't let it prolong. Get right in there. Like I said in the beginning, if they want to keep the kids longer, don't let them. Show up at all of their activities. Let your kids see that you are present, that you want to be with them, that what the alienating parent is saying is not true about you. I also want to encourage you to try to change their thought pattern. Now, one thing that I know works a lot is that you refer to your child as our child. The alienator is referring to your child as their child. But if you can refer to your children as our children, it shows that you're not splitting them between you and your ex. Second of all, I want you to present the opposite behavior of what you are being accused of being by the alienator. So if the alienator is saying you're mean or you're not giving money for clothes or you're doing nothing, you know what? Send clothes. Do things that allow your children to see that you are not what the alienator is saying about you. That is how you change how somebody thinks and perceives you. Also, you want to challenge their thought process. Now, this is not easy all the time because I know that you don't want to say anything negative about the alienating parent. But I'm not asking you to say anything negative. What I'm asking you is to challenge their thinking. Ask them, what do you think about this? What do you think about what happened at Daddy's this week? So on and so on. I know some people say that's not appropriate, but I say that it is because no matter what you think, your kids know what is going on. So ask open-ended questions, and I hope that you get some of the answers that you need to rebond with your child. Thank you once again. This is Dr. Sue Cornbluth, and please visit me at Parenting Beyond Trauma on Facebook.